Hi guys, Crolister here with the third part of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate playthrough series. Continuing from the previous episodes with the original Smash and Melee lineup, in this video I will be doing Classic Mode with the Brawl lineup. Featuring Meta Knight, Pit, Zero Suit Samus, Wario, Solid Snake, Ike, the Pokémon Trainer, Diddy Kong, Lucas, Sonic the Hedgehog, Dedede, Olimar, Lucario, R.O.B, Toon Link, and Wolf O'Donnell. And due to the embarrassing result I had in the previous episode, I'm mainly referring to Bowser. I'm going to take it easy and play Classic Mode on the easy level in this episode of the playthrough series and onwards. It's like Masahiro Sakurai actually said once, playing the game legitimately isn't always fun, right? And the point of this is simply to have fun. So, without further ado, let's start the playthrough series starting with Sir Meta Knight from the Kirby series. And boy do I hate this character. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Meta Knight was by a long shot the best character in the game. And he was completely broken across the board. And obviously they nerfed him in the later games. He's just a little bit inconsistent because his rapid hitting attacks were weakened a lot to make the game a bit more fair on the competitive side. And he's one of the lightest characters in the game. I didn't do that well with Meta Knight in this playthrough. Meta Knight's classic route has you go up against light side and dark side of a few select different characters. Like you saw with Link and Dark Link in the previous round. Now we got Pit and Dark Pit, which also makes sense. Meta Knight is kind of a character that's on both the good side and the bad side. He's not evil, he just opposes Kirby. I prefer to call him an anti-hero, as opposed to a villain for that reason. There we go, Viridi's nuking the place with her reset bomb. We got Captain Falcon, and what's supposed to be Blood Falcon from, the N64 F-Zero. He's a doppelganger I think Black Shadow created to attack Captain Falcon, if I'm not mistaken. I have no knowledge about the Earthbound series, and Lucas's game never released outside of Japan, so I have no idea what this is supposed to represent in terms of light and dark side. Although Lucas does have a friend named Claus that looks a lot like Lucas, he just has a different colored shirt and hair. So, I'm not sure about that. Ha! Bob-ombs from the party ball will get you. Samus and Dark Samus. This is actually a free-for-all, meaning the opponents can't hurt each other. Now, even though I am playing on the easy level in this video, I still struggled a little bit with Meta Knight because he's not a really good character to use in this game, specifically this game. And just wait until you see the near miss I have on the boss as well. And even though playing on easy does mean you can get through the game faster, at the cost of having lesser rewards, I still had a couple of fails in this very video. One of which was due to recklessness. Now we got different Meta Knights on Fountain of Dreams. As always, I'm not going for top score. Now for the boss, with Meta Knight, you have to fight Master and Crazy Hand simultaneously, with no ally. And that can be pretty difficult if you're playing on a higher level. Especially since they use moves they wouldn't normally do if they were fighting alone. That's totally not good. Alright, I knocked him down. There we go. As before, I will show the entire staff credits and the shooting minigame with it for Meta Knight, the first character I use, and then skip all the later characters' credit shootings, cause that'll save a couple of minutes in the final video per character. I just got out of the spirit board just before I started recording this video, and I got the spirits from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that they added. Koraidon and Miraidon, Terrapagos, Ogerpon, and Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. So, I got my spirit list all up to date there. There's been a heavy rumor that during the week of Valentine's Day, the week I upload this video, I plan to upload it before that day, just so you know, that a Nintendo Direct will be happening around Wednesday-ish, and February is a good month to expect a Nintendo Direct regardless. And the rumor is it might be a Direct Mini Partner Showcase. So, I'm just warning people not to get alerted if a credible insider says it's going to be a partner showcase, and then it turns out it is one. A Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase announced a remake of Pac-Man World that was coming to the Switch and other consoles, so I can't be all mad about those. And also remember that Friday in the very week, the 16th, the Sora amiibo will be coming out as well. That's the final amiibo in Smash until they make the next game. I pre-ordered it, so I'll be getting that amiibo. And then I'll have every character's amiibo in the game. Master Opponent. The Pyra and Mithra amiibo double pack was one of the hardest amiibo to get, by far. Because, for some reason, the Nintendo characters amiibo are selling out before the new third-party characters are. You'd think it'd be the other way around, though it isn't. I was willing to spend like $68 on the Pyra and Mithra amiibo on Amazon. I didn't care. There's also going to be a minimum of one more major Spirit Board event that'll add actual new spirits to the game as part of Smash's Silver Anniversary. So, keep your eyes open for that week by week as well. It'll probably come another bi-weekly. Pits, the protagonist of the NES game Kid Icarus, and the character that Sakurai himself greatly reinvigorated and improved with Kid Icarus Uprising. Not that I played that game. I did play the original NES Kid Icarus. That game wasn't bad. We got Dark Samus on Brinstar first. I got a screw attack. Pretty reckless name for an attack, in my opinion.
Ready?
With Pit, we're gonna fight a lot of villains. Pit's all-around, pretty balanced character. He just has above-average jumping, because his wings obviously give him multiple jumps. And the power of flight is also a really good recovery move.
Ready? Go!
I'll teach you to get the first hit of the battle, Dark Pit. I got him with the upper dash arm. Nice. Bayonetta is a witch, so this makes sense. Got her with the upper dash arm as well. Then for some reason we're fighting a giant Palutena. No, never mind. I'm thinking of a later route. Then for some reason we're fighting Palutena with Dark Pit as an ally. Now we got Master and Crazy again, except with this one we actually have an ally, and it's Dark Pit for some reason. I used the Guardian Orbitars to deflect the Finger Bullet, and they hit Dark Pit in the process. Alright, we got another knockdown. Master hands down. And it's over. Pit made his goddess proud with that performance. Even though we beat her in one of the battles.
Final results.
Alright, next up is my girl Samus Aran. Except in this round, it'll be Zero Suit Samus. We're going to keep this SFW, just for the sake of YouTube, alright? Zero Suit Samus's route, grapplers, whips, claws, is a focus on characters that have grappling objects for their grab, for example, and whips, like Zero Suit Samus herself has. Young Link and Toon Link obviously have a hook shot for their grab. For one example. You tripped me. Boy, am I glad that they removed the random tripping from Brawl. That was a pain in the rear. Ivysaur because of the move Vine Whip, which he uses for tethering recovery and an up special. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl, as you already know, Zero Suit Samus was originally a transformation of Samus after she shot her final smash, the Zero Laser. This was cut in 4 due to 3DS hardware limitations, and Zero Suit was made a separate character instead. The same goes with Sheik and Charizard from the Pokémon Trainer. Now we got Dark Samus on Brinstar Depths, which is not a fun stage to fight on at all. Zero Suit Samus is one of the harder characters to use in the game. She's good, she's just really hard to use. She's also very lightweight, so a beginner playing as her would probably struggle. I do like that Samus and Zero Suit Samus are separate characters, though, for the fact that their movesets are completely different to one another. Yoshi, he has a grappler for his grab and neutral special with his signature tongue. You know, egg-like. Yoshi ever has used his tongue as a grapple in his own games before, also. Like, I think in Yoshi's Story might have been one of those games where he swung from certain circles. Of course, he can't tether in Smash. Now we got Simon and Richter from Castlevania, characters that literally have whips. And Simon got the first hits of the fight on me. Wow. Richter died from poor recovery ability. Now we got a wireframe Little Mac Horde. Not sure how this is relevant to the whole, grappler's theme that this route's supposed to have. You would think by having claws in the name of the route that you would have to fight, like, Bowser, or much more obviously, Ridley. However, it's not the case. Due to her being fast, Due to her being fast and having high jumps, Zero Suit Samus is pretty good in the bonus game if you really tried. Alright, now we got just Master Hand for the final battle. Yes. Nice try. Master Opponent. Even on the easy level, beating a boss without taking damage at all still requires skill. So you gotta give me some credit for that reason.
Nice work. Congratulations. Final results.
I am a pretty big fan of classic Metroid, so being pretty good with Zero Suit Samus is just a bonus. At some point, I would like to do the classic Metroid series as long plays on my channel, so stay tuned. For Wario, I'm gonna play with the original Wario Land outfit, because I prefer that to the WarioWare one. I did play the first 4 Wario Land games, starting with Wario Land 3, Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land, I mean, up to the one on the GBA, Wario Land 4. And I did play the original Game Boy Advance WarioWare. So, I know quite a bit about this character for that reason. As a Smash fighter, Wario is pretty fun to use. You're not going to see the Wario waft in this video, though, because I never survived in a round long enough to get the full charge. So I had no reason to use it, therefore. In Wario's route, I'm gonna win, you go up against some of the burlier characters. Of course, Ike has a lousy recovery ability, so there you go. Remember for Wario that you can use the Wario bike and jump off of it while in midair before using his corkscrew up special to help with recovery. K. Rool, for the most part, was taking advantage of the random rock platform, which was unnerving me a little bit, because I can't stand moving in places where movement space is so small. Incineroar's recovery is also garbage. Reckless input. For some reason, I'm not good at dodging the finger rocket in this game. I'm always early to do the rolling dodge. Wario's working out with the Wii Fit trainers. Just between you and I think the Wii Fit trainer might be one of Sakurai's favorite character additions in Smash 4. Can't you tell? Alright, next up is Solid Snake from the Metal Gear series. I actually knew Snake as a character before I knew Super Smash Bros., because I actually had a PlayStation as my first actual home gaming console, which I no longer have. And I had a compilation disc that contained a bunch of different demos and videos for games that were coming out in 1998. Which is mainly why I'm a huge Crash and Spyro fan, because Spyro, which was in it, would go on to be my favorite game ever. And one of the games that was in it was Metal Gear Solid. So I actually knew Snake before I knew Super Smash Bros. And was pretty shocked to see him be added in Brawl. I mean, Metal Gear Solid did get a remake on the GameCube, and more recently the Switch. Re-release, I should say. So, it's not like Snake's not on a Nintendo console. This is Snake's new Final Smash, Cover Fire. You aim a crosshairs to lock onto characters, and then a barrage of missiles blasts them. That kind of saved me, because Murray Towers is not a good stage to hunt down your opponents in. Furthermore, Snake's very first game, Metal Gear, was actually on the NES, so, you know. I do understand that Snake is a weird character addition, and the only reason why he was added in Brawl was because Hideo Kojima literally begged Nintendo to do it. So they did. And that was after trying and failing to have him put the game in Melee, by the way. So, you know. However, Snake turned out to be one of the most adept fighters in Brawl, and as a result, my main in that game. And he's still really fun to use even in Ultimate. I knew they were gonna cut him in 4 for that reason, along with Snake getting a new voice actor and whatnot. Just in case you hadn't noticed, they didn't update Snake's voice acting in Smash Ultimate. They still use his original Brawl voice acting with David Hayler. Likely because they didn't want to pay Snake's new English voice actor to perform his voice all over again. This classic route features on characters that use weapons as one of their moves, and a bunch of different gun and bomb type weapons appear throughout the game. We got a Samus and R.O.B horde battle on Norfair. Luckily, the Cypher makes up for Snake's weak ground jumping. I got a gooey bomb on that R.O.B, so I'm keeping my distance. Oh look, another Smash Ball. Alright, I got this one. I got another Cover Fire. There you go. Occasionally, it's the stage, not the opponent, that can screw me up. Now we got another Snake. I'm not sure whether or not it's a reference to Liquid Snake, or any other antagonist of the series. I know Snake's skins in this game are based on camos from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And I love how Snake does the neck breaker for his grab. Yeah, that's totally child-friendly. Isn't this supposed to be a Nintendo game? Snake is also not an easy character to master. And if you're not that good with him, you can hurt himself with his own specials. I think it's good that they removed the mines that he used to use for his down smash, because those made it even easier to SD with him. So, you know. A boss we didn't fight in either of the previous episodes with the original Smash and Melee was Gallium, an original boss created for Brawl's The Subspace Emissary, which makes sense for Snake's route. After you damage Gallium enough, he has kind of a temper tantrum, and his attacks get a power boost. There, got him. Snake still does the cardboard box for all three of his taunts, though the way he puts the box onto him with his hands is different for each taunt if you look closely enough. And the box can also be picked up and thrown. It's like Snake's teaching Ryu how to be a sharpshooter. Or sneaking up on him, one or the other. Alright, next up we got Ike, the main protagonist of the GameCube game Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and the Wii game Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. We got Meta Knight and Kirby. Kirby's skin, where he's like shadow, kind of blue-black, and has the yellow eyes and purple feet, is supposed to be Meta Knight without his armor. Just in case you didn't know that. It looks like Meta Knight without his armor after you beat him in Kirby's Adventure. We got, black skin variants of 3 different characters on Spear Pillar. Dang you, Morton. Dang you, Morton. My turn. We got Dialga now. Palkia appeared in the previous round where I had to play on this stage. As a Smash fighter, Ike is known for being a heavy hitter. His dual-handed sword, which he's able to swing around with just one arm, is highly powerful. And it only takes a few hits from him to smash someone out. As you saw, I creamed Dark Pit and finished him off with his Ether Up special. Like Pit, Ike's route appears to be focused on going up against darkness. The main weak point about Ike is that he's much slower than most of the other Fire Emblem characters. All of them except for Robin and Byleth. And he has a bad recovery ability. Mr. Game & Watch is literally a Shadow-like character, so it makes sense. It's actually Giant Mr. Game & Watch. He got a 1 on Judgment, wow. Dark Link and Dark Toon Link on Bridge of Eldin. Wow. Dang it, he got the spiny shell. That could have ended me easily. Enough's enough, you little brats. You can see Ike's a lot slower than Marth and Roy are, though not as slow as Robin and Byleth, for example. I do like how, in Ultimate, both Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn Ike are playable as skins. In Brawl, he was just Path of Radiance, and in 4, he was just Radiant Dawn. In Ultimate, you can play as one or the other, and both of them also have different quotes, different lines that they say for versus mode victories. Interestingly enough, he only says, "You'll get no sympathy from me" in his Path of Radiance model, and he only says, "I fight for my friends" in his Radiant Dawn model. The quotes he originally spoke in Brawl and 4. We got a past and future meeting with the Ikes, as you can see in this picture.
Final results.
Alright, next up is the Pokemon Trainer, or Red. The Pokemon Trainer is 3 characters in one: Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. The Pokemon Trainer sits and watches in the background while the Pokemon, one by one, do the fighting, and you rotate between them, as you know from Brawl. The Pokemon Trainer's route is exactly like Pikachu's route. You just go up against the game's different Pokemon characters. The order and the stages you fight them on are different in this route than Pikachu's, though. Of the 3 characters, I'd say Ivysaur is probably the best one statistically, and probably the funnest to use as well. Charizard in Smash is garbage, especially in Ultimate, where they removed Rock Smash in favor of Flare Blitz, which they should not have done. And Squirtle is just, a very hard character to use, at least. So, those factors combined with the fact that the Pokemon tire out if they stay and fight for too long without rotating makes the Pokemon Trainer kind of a hard character to master.
Ready? Go!
Like I said, though, he can be pretty fun to use, especially if you use him like Ivysaur. Dang it, Lucario, getting the first few hits of the fight. There we go. That was a reckless dodge. Again, your recovery freaking sucks. I really love that Diantha's battle theme, the champion battle from X and Y, is one of the songs in Super Smash Bros. From Pokemon. I remember Bullet Seed, Ivysaur's neutral special, was pretty cheap in Brawl. Now we're fighting another Pokemon Trainer. As you know, the male Pokemon Trainer is Red, the protagonist of the Kanto generation Pokemon games, in his depiction from Fire Red and Leaf Green. And the female trainer that they added in Ultimate is Leaf, Fire Red and Leaf Green's female protagonist. I believe the gender selection for your character in Pokemon debuted in Crystal, though it's more recognized in Fire Red and Leaf Green and Ruby and Sapphire. And every Pokemon game since then had the ability to play as a male or female. Squirtle, for whatever reason, can cling onto walls before wall jumping, and that kind of slowed me down a little bit in the bonus game. Not sure how he can do that, because he's a freaking turtle. It makes more sense for Lucario and Greninja and Diddy Kong. Also, you can choose what Pokemon of the three you want to start the fight with, if you put the hand over Squirtle and cycle through them with A. The final battle in the Pokemon Trainer's route is also exactly the same as that of Pikachu's. After this one fight is done, you go up against Master Hand, and he uses different moves than normal. The same moves he uses for Pikachu. Alright, I'm gonna have to use Charizard to make sure Ivysaur doesn't get tired. Wow. There we go. Of all the characters in the Brawl lineup during this video, Pokemon Trainer was the one I got the highest score with, and is in a tie for some others for ending on the highest intensity, so Pokemon Trainer is this video's VIP. Being a Pokemon fan pays off. I do want to make, like, countdown and trivia videos of Pokemon on my channel at some point, so consider subscribing if you like PokeTubers, even though I'm not in it just for Pokemon. Just know and understand that. Alright, Diddy Kong's turn. We're teaming up with Mario to fight Bowser and Bowser Jr. on Melee Peach's Castle. In 3DS and Wii U, Diddy Kong was pretty much the best character in the game, and that was kind of iffy, as he was an already top-tier character in Brawl that got a bunch of buffs that weren't necessary. And of course, in Smash Ultimate, he got nerfed. So, you know. Ridley and Dark Samus, with Zero Suit Samus as an ally. The first classic route where we're fighting Ridley not in giant form. Diddy Kong is pretty good at intercepting people in the air, and on the ground has a lot more multi-hitting attacks than solid blows for his moves. They also removed his flurry attack. He can't do a combo attack with his tail after his jabs anymore. Alright, now we got Ganondorf with Zelda as an ally on the battlefield format of Unova Pokemon League. Easy. Both of us took no damage at all. We're teaming up with the Pokemon Trainer. You can see Squirtle there. Psycho Kitty got barreled. Now we got a Kirby match. I got frozen. There, that was getting somewhat irritating. Didn't even get a nice play. Alright, now we got K. Rool with Donkey Kong as an ally. Again with the bomber. Now we got Master and Crazy Hand with Donkey Kong as an ally. Both of them down. No, I only knocked one of them down. Never mind. I got caught in the crazy struggle. Donkey Kong falls, like I figured. Then. Alright, so that was Diddy Kong's classic route. I like Diddy Kong in general for being a cutesy character. He can be annoying as a Smash fighter, though in general he's still pretty cool. We got another Wii Fit Trainer picture with Diddy. Like I said earlier about Wario. Alright, from here, I take a short break after I beat the game with Diddy Kong, and then I come back for another part of the recording where I continue on with Lucas. Lucas is one of the characters that I fail with in this video, and it was a miserable failure. We got Ness on Magic Hands for the first battle. Lucas is a clone, so he has a lot of moves in common with Ness. Robin's on Arena Ferox. Like, Lucas and Ness have some tweaks between their specials to make them somewhat different enough. Lucas's PK Fire pushes the opponent back instead of catching them in a pillar and hitting them multiply, and the PK Thunder travels through enemies instead of hitting them just once. His up and down smashes are also radically different, though some of his moves are not as well compared to Ness. So, Rosalina got the first hit of that round. Like, Lucas's up smash is slow to execute, for example. This is where the giant Palutena was. Lucas's classic route. At least I was able to hit Bayonetta with the PK freeze. Alright, this battle is where I failed.
Ready? Go!
I was a bit reckless in this fight, and he tore me to pieces, so... That gooey bomb that was there was technically what got me. And, yeah. Then I had to jump as soon as I respawned because of the flood chamber. Then in the bonus game, I go forth for a little bit. And it's not until then that I remember, wait, I have a personal policy. Those that let me down in the real game are not worthy of bonus points. No, not nice work. That run was horrible. And I hate Lucas. He's a completely irrelevant character. There's no reason at all to prefer him over Ness as a Smash fighter. And people need to know and understand that Nintendo of America hates Earthbound. And while it is still possible that Lucas's game could come to the GBA app, technically, I wouldn't get my hopes up about that. Alright, next is Sonic the Hedgehog. Everybody's favorite super fast blue hedgehog. The mascot of Sega, Sonic is known for his blistering movement speed. He's the fastest character in the game to run in Smash, and is the only character in the game to have an S grade in one of his stats, being his running speed.
Ready? Go!
He's very fluid, and I wouldn't recommend him for beginners, though. He is a hard character to master. Stages like Figure 8 Circuit are no fun. Now check this out. Very early in Sonic's route, you have to fight a giant metal Sonic. If you were playing on a higher difficulty level, this would probably destroy you. Because giant enemies and metal enemies, even more, are obviously harder to launch. And Sonic has a pretty good recovery ability thanks to the spring jump. So, I had to get this guy well over a couple 100% damage. Or close enough to that amount. Before I could finally finish him off. There.
Ready? Go!
Because of how fluid Sonic is, I have to be careful with what specials to use on certain stages, so he doesn't SD. We got Mushroomy Kingdom for the stage, which is a little bit safer to use his neutral special, the homing attack. Blocks interfere with her demise a little. There we go.
Ready?
Not sure why we're fighting Incineroar in this classic route, the speed of sound, because Incineroar is actually the slowest character in the game. It has to be a reference to a Sonic game of some kind. That's my personal guess. I haven't played a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog games, honestly, so I wouldn't know. I much prefer Mega Man myself. lasers got me.
Sonic speed.
Sonic the Hedgehog is a solid addition to the Smash series for the value of the character being in the game, though he is hard to master, and he can be a nuisance to go up against. Am I right, competitive players?
Final results.
Sonic is about as equally annoying to fight as Ness is, to be honest, and a lot of people hate Ness for that reason.
Classic mode.
Alright, next up we got Dedede, the character known as the main antagonist of the Kirby series.
Ready? Go!
So we got K. Rool on Pirate Ship first. Dedede is one of the harder hitting characters and has some of the most powerful attacks in the entire game, though his moves are so slow you can hardly land hits on people in more serious fights.
Ready?
Royal Rumble is focusing on fighting against kings or like princes and princesses, for example. Marth, the Hero King, makes sense as well. Roy must be a part of royalty as well, my personal guess.
Ready? Go!
Zelda, another good example. She got me with a Phantom Slash. There we go. Peach and Daisy, also princesses. I got Peach with the bomber, and Daisy with the tackle. Bowser is supposed to be the king of the Koopas. And because Bowser Jr. is his son, that makes him the prince of the Koopas. Ganondorf, the king of evil. Creamed him like the low-tier garbage fighter he is. Finally, I dodged a rocket attack. Gordo knocks him down. There we go.
Nice work. Congratulations.
Got a bit of a hammer party there for the victory picture.
Final results.
Right, so there's King Dedede's classic mode route. Next up, we got Captain Olimar and Pikmin from the Pikmin series. Alf from Pikmin 3 is also available for play as Olimar's alternate costumes. Mario and Rosalina on Mario Galaxy. Same as with Smash 4, Olimar can have a maximum of 3 Pikmin, and the Pikmin appear in a rotational order. So, that's an important note to take for yourself if you're used to using him in Brawl, for example. Though it's unlikely that that's the case. Olimar's classic route focuses on characters that are not from Earth, basically. Like Rosalina being from space. Wolf, another example. Failed his recovery. It makes sense because Olimar is obviously from a different planet and visits what looks like planet Earth and might be planet Earth from what I gather for his missions where he uses the Pikmin to help him. Olimar's definitely not an easy character to master, because mastering the different kinds of Pikmin can be difficult, and he is one of the lightest characters in the game. After all, in actuality, Olimar is about the size of a quarter. He's even that small in Super Smash Bros. Brawl's Subspacey Mystery cutscenes. They just scaled him up in Super Smash Bros. A lot of people also despise Olimar in this game for online matches, because people that know how to use him well can be infuriating to battle against, from what I hear. There's Alf from Pikmin 3. Like I said, he's an alternate costume for Olimar. It makes sense that they would add Alf as a variant for Olimar in Smash 4 because of Pikmin 3. Because in Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4 as well, they have different protagonists apart from Olimar and Louie. And it's not like they can be much different from Olimar himself as a Smash fighter. I knocked him down, and I landed on the very wrong side of him. Alright, so that wraps up Olimar's classic mode routes.
Nice work. Congratulations.
This group picture of Olimar's and Alps on the living room stage also kind of applies to their size in actuality as well. Alright, next up we got my boy Lucario, one of my favorite Pokemon. Amazing Pokemon, not so great of a Smash fighter though. In Lucario's route, you go up against characters that use a counter for their down special, like Lucario himself. We got Little Mac and Shulk on Gore Plain, which is not a very good stage to fight on. Lucario's gimmick is that, due to his aura burning hotter as he takes damage, he becomes significantly stronger the more damaged he is. However, he's extremely weak at low damage, and his recovery is easy to mess up. So for that reason, Lucario can be pretty inconsistent, especially in Smash Ultimate, where he got nerfed. I was able to defeat Shulk just before Metal Face appeared. Now we got Palutena and Bayonetta on Umbra Clock Tower. Alright, I got Bayonetta. Though, I complained before about how I hate having fighters linger on short platforms, and I had to deal with that on this round. I got perfect anyway. I think I got perfects with every character in this video except for Meta Knight. Got Marth and Lucina on Coliseum. Walk off boundary killed him. We got a Mii Sword Fighter Horde on Spear Pillar. One more. Occasionally, Cresselia appears instead of Dialga or Palkia on Spear Pillar. And Cresselia was more annoying to deal with than Dialga and Palkia were in Brawl, in my opinion. Roy, Ike, and Corrin on Castle Siege. I got a Mimikyu. Mimikyu automatically kills you if you have over 100% damage after it lets you free. Because they say that if you look at a Mimikyu in its true form in the eyes, you die. The Pokemon has been super iconic for that reason. Greninja, the final character in the base game that uses a counter for its down special. You obviously have Sora as well now. Incineroar also has a counter for a down special, though Revenge works differently from other counters. Really, Greninja? You're self-destructing on me? Joker kinda has a counter for a down special as well. So, that's what's gonna make the later Smash games interesting, to see, how well the classic routes, if they do them like they did in Ultimate, are with, different characters that they add to the game. Not to mention what characters are gonna be removed. With the sheer number of characters in the roster and the kind of surprises we've had in the past with the series, there's no telling for sure what characters are gonna stay and what characters are gonna go in the next game. I mean, everybody thought Lucario was a sure goer in Smash 4, and that didn't exactly happen. I'm just interested to see what Pokemon is going to bring in the next generation, in particular. And I'm sure they'll disappoint us like they usually do. Lucario's jamming out with Pauline's band.
Final results.
Pauline is without question the hardest battle in the World of Light of the spirits you fight in that game mode. I think a lot of us can agree on that one. Alright, next up we got R.O.B, short for Robotic Operating Buddy, and named Robot in Japan. And this is the other character I had a fail with in this video. Normally, R.O.B is a pretty good fighter in Smash. He's got a good unique moveset. He has high endurance. He's a heavyweight. Good recovery ability. Good and competitive. There's just one detail you have to be super careful about, though, and that's his aerial attacks. One aerial attack in particular. In R.O.B's route, you fight faceless characters, or characters with blank faces, like Meta Knight and Dark Samus in this round. Because that's the kind of character R.O.B is. Unreadable expressions.
Ready? Go!
Not falling for a straight lunge. Does anybody actually watch fights with CPU players on Wii Fit Studio and exercise with the Wii Fit trainer silhouettes in the background while the fight happens? I'd recommend doing that if you want to stay in shape. And the least you could do is take 10,000 steps a day every day, like I do. Alright, now see, Rob's back air screwed me up there, so... Since Rob let me down, he doesn't get bonus points from the bonus game. We're fighting Gallium as the boss. It most certainly was not nice work. I was freaking reckless. I actually quite like Rob. I just had a horrendously aimed back air. So, because of this, Rob gets a fail. Alright, so, following the NES console peripheral, we get Toon Link, one of the more iconic depictions of Link from the Zelda series. And in Toon Link's classic route, the teamwork of courage. In every round, you fight with a blue Toon Link and a red Toon Link as your allies, which could possibly be a reference to Zelda Triforce Heroes, the most recent game in the series to feature Toon Link on the 3DS. That's my personal guess, anyway. We got Yoshi and Luigi. Now we gotta get... There. Villager and Isabelle on Tortimer's Island.
Ready? Go!
The exact layout of Tortimer's Island, if you're not playing Battlefield or Omega Form, is different for each playthrough. This also applies to the Game & Wario Stage Gamer, and much more clearly Super Mario Maker. Which is a pretty nice touch, in my opinion. It's cool that they're able to make stages that are like that in Smash. While Toon Link does have some physical attacks in difference with young Link, I would still consider him a clone. I mean, their specials are exactly the same after all. The way they hit with their A attacks is a little bit different, so, you know. I got lightning. Nice. The individual Pokemon Trainer Pokemon. Inklings on Moray Towers. I already demonstrated how annoying it is to fight on this stage before with Solid Snake. So, here we go with this again. Alright, the yellow Inkling girl to go. Go. Ganondorf. Giant Ganondorf on battlefield form of Great Plateau Tower. We all have 39% damage. Like we got the jackpot on the slots there. I kept getting in the way of his dark dive for some reason. Or we did, I should say, not just me. There we go. Although Ganondorf is garbage as a Smash fighter in competitive, he's still pretty annoying to fight against as a CPU. For the final boss, we fight against Ganon the Demon King, still with the allies. And having a 3 against 1 in my favor made this fight, total breeze. Observe. Remember that Ganon only takes damage in the tower. That knockdown we did whittled his health severely. And there, I got another perfect boss fight. Master Opponent. That's a pretty redundant picture, in my opinion.
Final results.
The final character I will be playing with in this video will be Wolf O'Donnell, Fox McCloud's rival, the leader of Starwolf. One of the characters from Brawl that didn't make the cut in 3DS and Wii U, even as DLC. And in his classic route, Reunited roster, you go up against all of the veteran characters that were not featured in 3DS and Wii U, like the Ice Climbers. The Ice Climbers were cut because of 3DS hardware limitations. A CPU Ice Climbers needs a double AI, and the 3DS couldn't handle 8 AIs at once in Smash. So they had to cut them. It doesn't surprise me that they would bring them back later. Of course, Link's shield is gonna make projectiles useless while any of them are standing still. So, that didn't help. Young Link is completely... This kept getting on my nerves. He's just splashing out of the water and spamming that. You know, Young Link's an outdated, irrelevant character and completely overshadowed by Toon Link nowadays, so... Obviously, Young Link was gonna go in Brawl. And Young Link will likely be cut once again in the next game. The Legend of Zelda is just one of those franchises that has trouble getting characters into Smash. Pichu, another character from Melee that was excluded from Brawl and 4, and rightfully so. We all know why Pichu was removed. And being a clone also doesn't help. Now we got Squirtle. Just Squirtle, not the whole Pokemon Trainer. Squirtle's very light, and his recovery is not the best. So, yeah. Now we got, as you could probably figure, Ivysaur. They had to do Squirtle and Ivysaur separately, as opposed to the whole Pokemon Trainer, because of, you know, Charizard being a solo fighter in Smash 4. Sheik and Zero Suit Samus were made separate characters because of 3DS hardware limitations, like I said earlier. So for the Pokemon Trainer to return in 3DS and Wii U was out of the question. I'm sure he'll return in the next game. And then finally, Solid Snake. Snake will also likely be cut once again as well, because he was a weird character addition across the board. And Metal Gear is definitely more of a PlayStation franchise than a Nintendo franchise, despite debuting on the NES. I mean, you know, the Metal Gear Solid up to 3 was made for Nintendo consoles as well, including the Switch more recently. However, Metal Gear Solid 4 still has yet to be made on a Nintendo console. You know what I'm saying? It's just better if a Smash franchise is a franchise that has valid Nintendo representation. If they're on Nintendo consoles in a valid enough role, you know what I mean? Castlevania is a far better choice where Konami is concerned. And, you know, I like Snake. He's just one of those characters you know is going to be cut once again, just as he was before. That's all. And as for Wolf himself, No matter how you view it, Wolf is an irrelevant character because he's another Fox clone after we already had Falco. And Star Fox as a franchise is definitely a washed-up has-been. Although we did get a new game on the Wii U, you know, the Wii U. And they made a Star Fox game for the Switch as well. The only problem is that game was made by Ubisoft, not Nintendo. Critical hit with the Wolf Flash made Gallium a bit easy. That's just what I personally think, anyway. That everyone is here is definitely not going to happen again in the next game. I can assure that. That's all I'm trying to say. Fox and Wolf are chilling out, even though they're sworn enemies.
Final results.
So with that, wraps up the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Classic Mode Brawl lineup playthrough. Stay tuned later on for the 3DS and Wii U lineup, which will be the longest episode, as long as I can get this up right, with limitations and whatnot. And like I said, consider subscribing if you like Pokemon, Mega Man, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, or Pac-Man and other Namco arcade games, as well as Retro Nintendo, because I like and will play a lot of those franchises as well. Till then, I am Crolister, the Master of Ponage. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video from here.